Hello everyone and welcome to the Magic Show where you must be in it to win it. Today I'll be going over the first week of spoilers for Tarkir Dragonstorm. To begin, we have Mox Jasper. A Mox Amber for dragons instead of legendaries has arrived. I can speak for everyone when I say we did not have a new Mox in our bingo card for this set. It's the first Mox printed since Tantalite back in 2019. I'm honestly surprised artifacts like this don't exist for more creature types. I know a lot of them don't need it, but this could be something Wizards do more of in the future. Also, changelings are dragons, so this Mox can be utilized in any of those types of decks. Mutavault, Changeling Outcast, Masquerade Nexus, and Universal Automaton can also turn Mox Jasper online if you're into that. This may be a bulk mythic for a lot of players, but for dragon lovers, there's another ridiculous card. Next up, Sarkon, Dragon Ascendant. He has an ETB that states, when Sarkon enters, you may behold a dragon. If you do, create a treasure token. To be fair, Sarkon do be the kind of guy to show you his favorite dragons and say behold. Nonetheless, I do love this mechanic because it gives me the opportunity to say that mid-game. His second ability in the hand states, whenever a dragon you control enters, put a 1/1 counter on Sarkon. Until the end of turn, Sarkon becomes a dragon in addition to other types and gains flying. I honestly see this Sarkon going into all, if not most, dragon decks out there. Create a treasure token and buff himself by dragons. Yeah, this will go dummy in a Miram deck. Skirmish Rhino is our next spoiler. Our glorious king has returned. A 3/4 Rhino with trample for Abzan that deals 2 damage to each opponent and gains you 2 life when he enters the battlefield. Reminiscent of Siege Rhino of a previous Tarkir set, Siege Rhino sort of finally makes his return to standard. Now can you make 34 of them is the question. Following Skirmish Rhino we have Shiko, Paragon of the Way, a 4/5 spirit dragon for 2 colorless and Jeskai. Shiko has flying, vigilance, and ability that reads, when Shiko enters, exile target non-land card with mana value 3 or less from your graveyard. Copy it, then you may cast the copy without paying its mana cost. This is very exciting to me. Given a Jeskai Spellslinger's theme, exiling every flicker spell in your yard to get your storm count sky high seems very fun. It's essentially a dragon that enables storm, hence the set Dragonstorm. Filling your grave with blink spells and or copy effects plus cast Grapeshot equals yes. It's also interesting to note that the spirit dragons in the set will get 2 different versions, one for the precons and another for the main set. Tavall the Balance Scale is the next spirit dragon spoiled. I believe this is one of the commanders for the Soul type precon. It's a 4/4 flyer for 1 colorless and soul tie that states, whenever Tavall attacks, mill 3 cards. Then you may return a land card from your graveyard to the battlefield tapped. Whenever 1 or more cards leave your graveyard, create a 2/2 black zombie druid creature token. Tortured Existence is about to go crazy with Tavall. It's been such a good card for a long time, so I'm glad it's getting the recognition it deserves. Gilt Leaf Archdruid, a card I've never heard about until now, seems like its ability would be hilarious to pull off in this deck with a druid subtheme. Tavall is very similar to Sidisi Brood Tyrant if you're thinking of interchanging the commanders or running both. Now we have Smile of Death, a 5-mana enchantment that reads, at the beginning of your upkeep, return up to 2 target creature cards with power 2 or less from your graveyard to the battlefield. Put a 1/1 counter on each of those creatures. This combos with Jumbo Cactuar lol. I don't think this is that great, but to be honest, the flavor text is the best part. Khan Alicia ensured our survival. Now we will forge our future. I forgot Alicia was canonically dead at this point in the timeline, but it's cool to see that the Mardu remembered who saved them, and the art is fantastic. Inevitable Defeat is an uncounterable utter end that is also a lightning helix. I do think it'll see more play with damage and life gain synergies. Uncounterable is also nice, especially if you're paying 4 mana to remove something. Baron Step Siege is an enchantment for colorless and Orzhov. When it ETBs, you choose Abzan or Mardu. The Abzan ability states, at the beginning of your end step, put a 1 counter on each creature you control. The Mardu ability reads, at the beginning of your end step, if a creature died under your control this turn, each opponent sacrifices a creature of their choice. It's cool to see 2 clans who share 2 colors fighting in this one. I hope we get to see more of this in the future. Can you imagine a return to Alara with an Azorius enchantment that makes you choose between Bant or Esper? It would be fun. Stormscale Scion is a Dragon Lord with Storm. Bit on the nose with this one, eh, Wizards? This will give standard players another option for Storm besides Ral, Crackling Wit. Baitor, Ancestor's Voice, is the last Spirit Dragon spoiled this week, and I believe it's one of the commanders for the Abzan precon. He's a 3/5 lifelink flyer for 2 colorless and Abzan. Better states, at the beginning of your end step, put a number 1/1 counters on up to 1 other target creature you control equal to the amount of life you gain this turn. Return up to 1 target creature card with mana value less than or equal to the amount of life you lost this turn from your graveyard to the battlefield. That ability is a mouthful, but it's literally the embodiment of Abzan. Focus on life gain, life loss, 1/1 counters, recursion, and it also has flying and lifelink. Ventor is a pretty awesome commander card. He's almost entirely the payoff, so you can have fun building him in a bunch of different ways. This is what a commander card should be. No more of the value engine and payoff on the same piece of cardboard. It's rare to say this about Wizards, but they did good with this one. Well everyone, that wraps up today's video. I hope you all enjoyed, and always remember, people who play dragons have hot breath.